Hey folks, John Head here, sitting looking over the canal in a beautiful Brigands Bay home here in the heart of Frisco canal front. And welcome to another edition of my video blog. And today it's just kind of a fun, whimsical thing that I think would be fun to talk about. I know the lighting's not perfect in here, so I'm going to back up just so you can see what I see behind me, and we'll take it from there. But so you should be able to hear me fine from this point on, but the reality of it is there's 15 myths I'm going to hit on today, and you may see my arm motions. I'll try to move in a little closer if you want to see my face. Some of you may not want to see my face. It's okay. So, 15 myths. So, one of them is real estate agents are paid a salary. False. They're not. 99% of agents work on commission, and it's split with their brokerage firm, so they get a portion of the commission. So that one's number one. The agent keeps all the commission. Again, not true. I wish it were, but there's overhead and expenses with any firm. There's employees, there's insurance, there's E&O insurance, there's marketing costs, whether that be internet and paper or postcards, phone calls, website traffic, and marketing in that way. So there's another issue. The typical commission is customarily 6%, right? No, depending on the property. It could be higher yet. So if you're vacant land, customarily that's higher than that amount of money. And agents' gas mileage and other transportation expenses are reimbursable. No, we do get to write them off, but if we don't have income, then write-offs don't help us. So after the previous 10 years, up until 2014 anyway, when the market started to slowly change back in our favor, if you've got a home to sell, or even if you're thinking about buying, the market is more stable now. It didn't matter how many write-offs, and I was running up and down the road, but if your income is still zero, the expense write-off is still zero. Marketing expenses aren't the agent's responsibility. Beep. Yes, they are. We pay a lot of money every month to market and sell property here on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. A home passes or fails an inspection. No, it's all in the eyes of the beholder. Inspections have to find something, don't they? I would argue the fact, yeah, they seem like they do. But their overall objective is just to find any material defect in a structure. So if it's a GFI, as simple as that is, on an outside deck that's not tripping, that's their job to find it. Because obviously if you have small children, or you're doing something outside with an electric grill, for an example, and somebody spills a drink, you want that thing to trip. So there's some ideas there. Weekends bring out the most serious buyers. Well, we're in a second home market, so not necessarily. Weekdays this time of year bring out a lot of buyers if it's raining. If it's not raining, they're at the beach, they're fishing, or they're sunbathing, whatever they are that came to the Outer Banks to do. This is one of my favorite. Zillow says, therefore it is. And false again. 98% of the information on Zillow, because the algorithms they use to combine data from all these, I don't even know how many different sources. When we did internal research within our MLS, 98% of the information was incorrect. It may not have been 100% incorrect, but it wasn't 100% correct. And especially those who love to look at the Zillow's estimates. We don't allow them in our firm if we can help it. The reality of it is I can have a house 4 back from the ocean, a beautiful house, and it's going to get his estimate of $750,000. Well, that guy wants to list with me because Zillow says, right? Well, the house is only worth $495. That's the reality. So they're not always right. It is better to price a home high as the seller can, because you can always come down. Well, the reality of that is it's not true. If you price it too high, all the other buyers are looking past you. They're looking around you, and they're buying other homes that are priced to the market. I wish I could sit here today and tell you all that I control the market on the Outer Banks for real estate. And the reality of that is, it's just not so. And the market dictates that. What a buyer's willing to buy for and a seller's willing to sell for at any one given point in time. That's what develops the market. Right now we're trending up. Hallelujah. We had a long term of trending way down, so we're getting back to some good footing there. When making an offer on a home, you need to start with a low offer. No. Let's just be realistic about the market and what the home offers, the features and benefits. As long as it's not extremely overpriced to the market conditions, and any buyer's agent can show you that, just like listing a property, there's a buyer's CMA. What are the other homes in the area selling for with similar qualities and features? Then you go in with an offer with hopefully a realistic expectation of getting something accepted. In the case of Kill Devil Hills West Side right now, you're almost likely going to pay more than the list price if it's priced properly. There's homes up there getting 4, 5, 6 offers on any one given day if they come on the market correctly. The longer a home is on the market, the more negotiable the deal. There probably is markets like that. Unfortunately, here on the southern beaches of the Outer Banks, it's not so. We have about 3.5 years of inventory in, I'm just going to use, because it's fresh on my mind, Frisco, since I'm standing here, on the ocean side. In the previous, up until May, the previous 12 months, there was only 9 homes sold on that side of the road. Based on the inventory and the under contracts, that gives us 3.5 years of inventory. Obviously, we think those will pick up as the spring and summer and fall progress, and those numbers will shift. Just on the opposite side of the street, it's less than a year. So on the south side of Frisco, you had less than a year's time to market and sell a home. But the average is still right at that 12 months. So it doesn't always pay. I had an agent say, well, they're going to lowball it because it's been on the market for a year. Well, that's only the average. It's not a big negotiating point in our market. All markets are local, so just keep that in mind. If you're thinking about selling a home in Kalamazoo, Michigan, then that is going to be local to there, depending on the market conditions. Multiple price reductions mean the seller is desperate to sell. No, that means you're just trying to feel the market to see where it's going to attract the most buyers to a property. If it started out in the market, and we did this numerous times through 2008 to 14, the market kept falling down. We were trying to find the market sometimes, and if we started out high, we actually had to price quickly down to get to the market if you had a motivated seller. Multiple offers give the sellers an advantage. Sometimes, because buyers, if they really love the house and they know there's 2 or 3 other offers, they might up their offer or make some of the contingencies less restrictive for the seller. Maybe a quicker closing, or maybe a possession after closing to give you time to move out if you have a primary home on the Outer Banks. And all agents are the same. No, they're not. So how do we know that? Well, I prize candor and truthfulness when dealing with buyers and sellers. Most of my clients watching this today will say, yeah, sometimes he's maybe just too darn candid. But the reality of it is, I'm watching and seeing the market every day. I sell quite a bit of property here on the Outer Banks every year. So I'm doing this as a full-time profession, and I look at it as a profession. So that in turn tells me if you have someone that you're thinking about working with who has a full-time job somewhere else but has a real estate license, they're not two equals. I'm sorry, they are not. They cannot understand the market depth of what's happening in the market itself if they're spending 90% of their time at a paid position somewhere, wherein you have agents who are out here making a living, providing for their families and the community around them, and that is a big difference. So those are some of the 15 myths that I wanted to talk about today, and I'm sorry if my lighting, you can't see me, but I'm going to step out of the way and just give you a second to realize that this wouldn't be a bad place to call home. Well, since this house isn't technically for sale, it's mine. So if you want to contact me with questions, comments, real estate needs here on the Outer Banks or in your hometown, just reach out to me at John at Colony Realty Corp. Again, that's John, John, at colonyrealtycorp.com, and or call me at 252-592-4OBX. And you can always reach me in the office as well, 252-995-5500. and I'm at extension 5501. If you leave me a message, it forwards it to me via email immediately so I can get to you as quickly as possible. But again, and if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in another area, just reach out and call me. I gladly refer you to an agent in one of those areas. I've been a long time, as I've shared before, client of the Mike Ferry organization and of the great networking of peers through the realtor community, and we will help you find the best agent who's producing results in that area. So, hey, have fun. It's a beautiful day. Hope to see you soon at the beach. Take care till I talk to you next time. Bye-bye.